64% improvement in conversion rate. That's what happened when we implemented new product photos and high quality product photos in the last startup that I worked for. You may say, all right, what about seasonality? So here I'm talking about, I worked for this e-commerce store for about 6 months, and I'm comparing the 6 months with the previous 6 months, and we got 64% improvement, right? But then you might ask, what about seasonality? Well, let me just confirm here with my notes, but basically if we compare the same 6 months but with the previous year, then we got 85% improvement in the conversion rates of the store. So just by there you can see how important it is for you to use product photos. Alright, so if you haven't seen my previous video, I talked about where I worked in the past, and I have worked for an e-commerce store here in Sweden, and it was a great experience. And we implemented new product photography from a professional photographer here from Sweden. I'll talk more about it during the video, but just keep that in mind because it was a local photographer here from Sweden. So he took some very high quality photos that helped us to improve the conversion rates of the store. But before we move on, let's just go for a walk, because there's one thing here in Sweden that when it's summer, you always have like a FOMO, which is fear of missing out, right? For going out and enjoy the good weather when you have it. So when it's summertime, you always feel a bit of the pressure of you need to be outdoors, you need to enjoy the weather while it lasts. I don't know how it is where you live, just leave it in the comments if it is as in Sweden or not. All right, so let's continue here the discussion. So let's talk first about bad product photography, right? There's so much bad photos out there for e-commerce stores that you would not believe me, but it is true. So first of all, why do you think people prefer going with a bad photo instead of a good photo? I think the number one in there, it would probably be cost, because if you need to hire a professional photographer to take photos of your product, it might be very expensive for you to create regular and consistent photos for a line of products you may have. So I think the number one is probably the cost that it's involved into doing that. But nowadays phones have evolved so much that you can probably take good quality photos of your products with your phone and a white background. We can create a video about that and see how far we can go with a phone versus a professional camera. So if you're interested in that, just leave a comment down below and we can create a video specifically for that, trying to create a battle between an iPhone and the Canon camera that I own here, and we can see how far we can go with those two photos. So right now I'm putting here in the screen, so these are some examples of bad photos that I found, and one of them is from the company I used to work for. Can you guess which one is that? All right, just leave it in the comments. Let's see if you get it correct. I'll disclose after in the end of this video which ones are from my previous job. I can say it because the company has been rebranded. There has been changes in the ownership and everything, so it's no longer the same brand. Another thing is we can usually see bad photos in second-hand products. That's very common because people just want to snap a photo very easy without putting any effort into it. But if you're creating a store from scratch and you're investing your time and money into it, you bet that you want to have better sales and conversion rates. So it's crucial that you invest also in product photography. And I think as we go through these examples here, you'll be able to see that it's very important to have good product photography. So I'm here. So as you can see, this is a very beautiful city here in Sweden. It's called Viken. And there's a harbor here, pretty cool. Let's go for a walk and then we continue this chat. Tudo bem? Tá bom. All right, look at this bunker. So it's a Second World War bunker, I'm guessing, which is pretty massive, but there are a lot of bunkers like this around Sweden. All right, just before we get started here again, let me just put a jacket because, you know, it's Sweden. Although it's summer, end of the day here, it's getting a bit chilly. So let me just put it in. And I have to pick up the mic here. So let me hold it here. All right, so let's talk a little bit about good product photos now. So it's very interesting, right? Because you always think you need a professional photographer to get amazing product photos, but it's not necessarily true. iPhones and other phones have come along very well nowadays, and if you have a proper setup, you can have a very good product photo because it will be displayed on monitors and everything. It's not like you will need to print out like huge banners with the product photos that you need. It's only for the internet, and then the mobile phones can take those pictures really well nowadays. If you had to print it very large, then you would still need a professional camera, and you would need probably a professional photographer to help you out with the best setup possible. But if you want just good photos that will convert on your website, you can pull it off with your phone, and I can show you how to do it. I have some friends that have an e-commerce store. I have interviewed them on my channel, and they do it with their phone. They have great pictures on their website. I can show you later. But let's take a look here just as an example on those photos here that are very good examples of good product photos. One of them again is from the company I used to work for, so you can also guess which one. And here you've probably seen similar photos, bad and good, but keeping in mind that's just one from bad and one from the good that is from the company that I worked for. It's really amazing. Like I told you, we'll walk here later to a pier where the other photographer that took those photos always comes here and take photos in different seasons, which is pretty cool, but I'll show you later. But the thing is, you can take your own photos. You have to dedicate a little bit of time to know a little bit, and then have minimal props and lighting. If you get the lighting right, it's probably the most you need. Just talking a bit about the photographer who took these photos for the company I worked for. His name is Frederick Reggie. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correct. Either Reggie or Reggie, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong here in the descriptions if you know it. The thing is, he has this social media profile. You can check it out later. And he has his website that I'll show you in a minute with a lot of good product photos. His work is really nice. He's really a professional, and I would love to collaborate with him sometime. So if you guys know him, just tag him or send him this video so we can try to collab, because I know he lives close by and he has a studio in Helsingborg, which is around 15 minutes away from here. So it's pretty close. I would love to collaborate and learn a bit more about product photography with him. But that being said, let's just walk to the pier and I'll show you some pictures from Frederick in that pier that looks amazing, and he takes them in all seasons. I'll show you in a minute. All right, let's go. All right, so we are here in this pier, which is amazing. So as you can see, I'm sharing now Frederick Reggie's photos on Instagram, and you can see that he shoots in every season here, which is really cool photos. As you can see now, in every season, it's always different here, and it changes a lot from season to season. They even take the pier away during the winter, so they take all the pieces of wood out. I think it's for saving and for making that it will last longer, probably. Yeah, so enough about this pier, and if we go to his website now, you can figure out which photo is it. So this is his website, which looks really well. I think he's mostly focused on food photographies, as you can see here from his website. But you can see that the photos that he took for the company I work with is these ones right here, bracelets and jewelry that it's from the company I worked for. I'm not going to disclose the name of the business as it was rebranded, as I mentioned, but if you're curious enough, you can go to my LinkedIn page and you'll find the name of the brand before it got rebranded in there. But that's about it. So you can see the photos look very good. The high quality is impressive. Frederick has a very detailed look for his photos, and he just managed lighting very well. As you can see here, it looks very professional and very cool. So as you can see, that's the results we got from these photos against the old photos. It was a huge improvement in conversion rate. Of course, we also implemented other changes in the website. It was not just photos, but the main change of it all was the photos, and that's what brought in most of the improvement in the conversion rates, as you saw. So is it worth doing good product photos? Absolutely. So do you have budget or not? You can manage, but you can definitely do a great job with your phone. We'll probably do a video about it so you can do it yourselves and create a very good photo in the budget, so you don't have to break the bank while creating your business. So I hope this video was helpful. If you want to see something else, leave it in the comments what you want to see next in the video, but I think it's a good takeaway for today. I hope to see you guys in the next video. See ya. Not a little,